All right, you guys, this is one of the hardest stories I'm probably gonna tell because it's just so complicated. Really needs to be told, but it has to be told right. Shit was back in doesn't matter what fucking year it was, back in the day. Past statute of limitations, put it like that. So, me and my homie were gonna rob this dude who had a bunch of money in his safe or some shit like that. You know, it's always a story, ain't it, man? And dude really didn't do nothing wrong to deserve this, man. But it just was what it was. His name was on the list and it was only one. So I just really don't like this story, but I have to tell it, you guys. So me, my homie Ice, and his homie Jay. Okay? Ice was my boy. I didn't know Jay until this day. So we all met up at a crib on 8th and Morgan. And we were gonna discuss putting this work in. And because we needed his voice, because me and my boy really couldn't speak. And really couldn't speak. So we needed this third person, all right? Jay. So we were meeting up with Jay, but I had to go do something. So I left to take care of something. And when I left, at the time I wasn't a felon. So when I left, I put my firearm up in the closet, which was literally right next to the door that you walk out of to go to the hallway. I never put my gun there before. So I put my gun in the closet. And I go to do what I do. This story is just fucked. I go to do what I do. I come back and Jay's already there. And what had happened that I didn't realize that I was being briefed on is that before Ice brought Jay around, he was like, look, bro, I gotta at least warn him who lives around here, because if they don't get along, it could be a shootout right on the front steps. So he's like, I gotta tell him who lives upstairs. So he's like, he tells him, and this is like some days earlier, he tells him that so-and-so lives upstairs from Crazy. And he's like, I don't give a fuck. Boom, just like that, done over with. But he's not thinking the person that Ice just named, he just gave him like an initial, and he didn't associate that initial with who actually lived upstairs. They were enemies. So exactly what he tried to prevent ended up happening. This ain't even the story. So I leave Ice at the crib. I go take care of something about 10 blocks away. When I come back, Jay is at the crib. Now, when Jay came to the crib, he walked into the duplex from one side of the street, and there was a black tinted out truck sitting in front on the other side. They're like on the other street. He was like on 8th. The other car was on Morgan, like a one-way. So he walked, cut through the yard, and the car could have saw him, but they would have really had to been paying attention. So he walked right in, and the person in the car didn't even see him. That was an enemy of his also. So when he gets into the hallway, and this is before I get back. So when he gets into the hallway, he's just going to, Ice is waiting on him. This is his arrival, okay? So he walks into the duplex. He sees he sees his enemy right now, who he's been forewarned about, but neglected to take it serious, thinking that this was somebody else when he gave him the initial and their gang. He just was like, he wasn't tripping, like it just didn't mean nothing to him, but it did, but he just didn't piece it together. So ironically, what he walked into without knowing it was his baby's mom's new boyfriend or husband. And ironically, his 13-year-old daughter was upstairs. Okay? And his baby's mom was too. He didn't even know she lived there because of him and the other guy having a problem. He just never was a part of his daughter's life because of the gang beef situation. Okay? So they make eye contact in the hallway. I come about 5 minutes after this back to my place. This is my crib. So I come back to the spot and they start telling me this story. And I'm like, what? Huh? And I'm trying to like just soak all this up as fast as I can. And right when he's like, man, that dude's probably up there scared as hell. I'm scared. This guy's like fucking 350 pounds, man. Fucking, how's he gonna be scared? I don't care how many people you done killed. I don't see this guy just cowering. No, man. So I know something's about to happen. And I'm like, damn, like, okay, this situation's fucked up. I don't really want to grab my banger in front of dude and get all annoyed. And make him all paranoid because he's in a situation where he just walked into some shit. So I'm not like, it's not even this part of the story that I don't like telling, man, but so I'm like, damn. So I'm hesitating to grab my banger. I'm going to wait for him to leave before I grab my banger is what I'm thinking, because I come back with something to smoke and I didn't have no blunts, and I was like, let's go get some blunts. He was like, I'll go get the blunts. So I'm like, cool. I walk him over to the door to lock the door behind him. Mind you, this is the door he's going out. My gun's in this door up there. So as soon as I close the door, I'm grabbing that. And I know this is where it is, right? So all of a sudden, he opens the door, but I can't see out the door. He opens the door, and his eyes get all big. And I hear boom, boom. I hear 2 shots go off. He goes flying back like 10 feet. It hits him in his upper right femur bone, breaks his leg, and throws him back like 10 feet. Now, until I got shot myself like that, I thought he kind of jumped back, like, nah, man, he got knocked back by that bullet, and it broke his fucking leg and just laid him the fuck out, y'all. So I'm like, what the fuck?